Alle deltagerne til Doughnut-sommerkurset er lige kommet, og jeg må indrømme, at jeg ikke helt troede på det, før vi startede her i dag. Og det er klart det største Doughnut-kursus, jeg har været med til, og vi er jo blevet fuldstændig overvældet af interesse og tilmeldinger og har prøvet at følge med. Det er virkelig godt.
I know that you're going to go on a fantastic journey in the hands of Jacob and Mia. So why Doughnut Economics? Why is it useful in these times? These times of such churn, of such extremes, of growing tension, of falling apart. We surely more than ever in times like these need visions of what we're for, not just to focus on what we want to leave behind, what we are being pulled back by, what we're trying to shed, but where we want to go. We need to have a vision of the world that we want to create. And one possible compass for doing that is the Doughnut. Here it is.
I'm going to introduce ecological economics, and ecological economics is basically the main theoretical field behind Doughnut Economics.
I think I'm mostly interested in meeting the people who are in this space itself, who are curious as well and wishing to integrate this knowledge into their own practice. So just to basically understand the greater network and greater context.
The point is here that if you look at a country like Denmark, for instance, we usually talk about our environmental responsibility in terms of producing, but we also have a consumption responsibility, meaning how much do we appropriate of resources through our consumption, not only from our own area, but also from other countries.
We are all caught up in metrics and trying to do less harm while we really need to do good. Like we need to be, I mean, there is a term like regenerative. You need to be regenerative because we are completely in an ecological overshoot of almost all the planetary boundaries. And there's simply no room for doing less harm. We really need to do good. So that's why I'm here.
Lige nu er de ude og gå en tur. De går universets 4,5 milliarder år lange historie. Og så hører de undervejs, hvad der skete, da jorden blev dannet og livet udviklede sig.
Between life and the atmosphere, and that balance to which life hugely contributes will enable life's evolution.
As you are, of course, if you are optimistic about it.
Well, there's not a lot of good things you can say about getting old, but I am old and I have seen change. I have seen that the thinking around this is changing tremendously. And as I say, I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I have to believe in a future. And two, I see change, I see change in thinking actually happening. So I wouldn't use, something like 60 or 70 hours a week on this agenda if I didn't believe in it.
And the economist said, I heard a voice. It spoke of cutting, it spoke of digging, crushing, grinding, and blowing up mountains. It spoke of endless growth and prosperity for our people. And it said, from now on and forever, we shall be known as the builders. And the voice said, build the highest possible, self-supported, sustainable tower. I will start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go!
Is using less bricks. Oh. Yeah.
Where's the measuring tape?
What does it mean by sustainable?
Where is it? Wide one.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right, time's up. Step away from your cakes. Everyone raises your hand who has a tower above 30 centimeters. Ah, well done. So their team's economy is going to come and check your numbers. 90? Do you remember what the goal was? Remember what the goal was? The biggest possible sustainable tower. But no one really knows what sustainable means. It's an empty word. We just use it for, whatever. So, now crisis hits. We're hit by climate change, COVID, forest fires. So, you need to now remove 3 blocks from the bottom half. From the bottom half. And you have to do it. You have to do it quickly and at once. Go.
I guess we kind of did do sustainability in a way.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
But it came as an afterthought because we didn't know what it meant, right, in this context. So he was totally right.
Yeah.
So we all live from photosynthesis, because all, you can say, the plants, they are the primary producers. Through photosynthesis, they can produce biomass. And some of it they use for their own purposes. And then there is a net amount of biomass that can be available for all the other species. It's called the net primary production. And then the question is, how much do humans take of this net primary production? We take probably at the moment around 25% of total land-based biomass. And this makes it understandable that we are taking away living areas from other species, because we take up so much space.
I met a person I knew from my studies, and we were discussing how we are kind of jealous of the people who didn't get to know the knowledge about the Earth systems and how messed up it is. Because I personally wake up every day, go to sleep every day, having, this tiny thought at the back of my head, like, I'm 30 years old, almost 29. I still hope to have a long life ahead of myself. What is this gonna look like, As older I'm getting, and life keeps pressing you personally and career-wise and everything else, you kind of struggle to be hopeful. But looking at everything what's happening, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's the answer.
Your question would be, how would you see this happening in a territory? I'll give you 2 examples. One of them is the island of Mallorca, which relies on tourism, right?
In the work I do, I try to communicate that, business and human well-being are dependent on planetary well-being. So these are embedded in an Earth system. So we have to redesign our economic systems, including how we deliver housing, how we work with housing, for example, to make it more affordable, with that in mind. Adding more housing, for example, has never made anything cheaper. In fact, when we build new, the prices are higher. I mean, this is shown time and time again.
If nothing else, if you forget everything that's been said this week, everything I said, everything I showed, only remember one thing. It's what we do in the next 10 years. That's what matters. Right. Thank you very much.
I believe in active hope, so I believe that hope is a thing to practice and not something that you just have standing in the background, but something you have to really pursue. And so I make it a practice to try to engage in my hope and put it into action so that there can be a possibility like that.
Seeing so many people trying to do the same, it's inspiring, at least. And then from that kind of little seed of inspiration and hope, quite a lot of stuff can happen.